We're kicking off my Australia by Rail-ish series with something I've been weirdly obsessed with for a while. A 26-hour sleeper train from Brisbane to Cairns with my sister in matching beds, side by side, for a full day and a half. What could possibly go wrong? This is the Spirit of Queensland, and instead of regular train seats, we booked these futuristic, kind of business class style rail beds that lie completely flat. Yep, flat, like sleep on your side flat. Definitely not easy to book. These things sell out so fast, and today it's happening. Palm trees, sugarcane, wild weather. So if you've ever wondered what it's like to eat, sleep and awkwardly film your sibling on a moving, tilting bedroom on wheels, you're in the right place. And if you like this video, why don't you think about tapping subscribe? Let's go. We're in Brisbane, and I don't know if you realise, but I've got a really cool new camera, and it's called the Insta360. And we are just here walking along this beautiful Brisbane river walk. It's a glorious day. It is late June, so we are here in winter. Me and my mum were actually here last year before boarding our Great Southern fancy luxury train with Journey Beyond. You'll never guess what happened. Somebody at the market was like waving at me, and turns out it was Denise, who is one of our subscribers. And she was there at the market and she said hello. That is so awesome. At this point, I should probably tell you what we are doing here in Australia. We're starting a brand new series. This is Australia by Train-ish. We have about 5 to 6-ish episodes focusing on lots of fun different train journeys around Australia, mostly on the right side of Australia. She's gonna be with me for the first 3 episodes. Then she taps out, Ludwig flies over, he joins in, they swap out. Ludwig, my honey, he comes into the episodes. There you go, you get 2 whole guests in this series, and that's really fantastic. So we'll see you on the train. Our train was set to depart at exactly 3:45 p.m. Very punctual. And we were encouraged to arrive an hour early to check in and drop off our bags. And let me tell you guys, they are serious about the cutoff times. Bag check closes 30 minutes before departure, and I was definitely not about to be that person again. Cue the flashback to me on Amtrak, trying to yeet my entire suitcase into the upper bunk, and I was just running really late. It was early in the morning. Anyway, never again. We're growing, friends. You're allowed to check in 2 big bags each if you're in a rail bed, but they must be under 20 kilos. Renee, are you excited for your first sleeper train ride?
I'm feeling kind of nervous, to be honest.
Oh. But then it was time. I finally saw the Spirit of Queensland in real life, not just on Google Images. And honestly, my weird little heart lit up. We were in Car C, rail beds 6 and 7, which are a 2-1 seat layout. So one side of the carriage has 2 seats side by side, that was us, and the other side has solo seats. For my introverted solo traveller friends, oh my gosh, they are perfect. Oh. Okay guys, you get it. There is a storage area up the top. Yeah, we're over the limit.
Would you like a welcome drink?
Yes, oh my gosh, that's so pretty.
Beer, lime juice, bitters.
That's so pretty. Wow, this is really fancy. Thank you so much.
It's for free, Renee.
Really good. It's a really, really good. Yum.
From Bubbles Organic. I've just been saying I needed face wash. The Spirit of Queensland runs between Brisbane and Cairns. It's a whopping 1,681 kilometres of rail line. The full journey takes around 25 hours, and it runs 5 times a week. It's a tilt train, which means it leans slightly into the curves, kind of like a motorbike, so you get a smoother, comfier ride even on the winding tracks. You've got 2 options on board, rail beds, like we're in now, or economy seats in separate carriages. There's a cafe car full of snacks, hot meals, and theoretically, barista coffee. Theoretically. We met our lovely attendant Justin, who was just the best. He'd been working on these trains for almost 2 decades, and you could see he genuinely loved people. I overheard a local behind us saying, "Make sure you look out the left windows as we'll be passing the Glass House Mountains." So I did, and oh my gosh, they are stunning. The Glass House Mountains are this beautiful cluster of volcanic peaks rising out of Queensland's otherwise very flat Sunshine Coast. They're ancient, like 25 million years old ancient.
What would you like for dinner tonight?
Can I get the barramundi
Yes.
and the cheesecake, please?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone ordered the barramundi. While we wait for dinner, let me show you around the space. We each had this big, comfy chair tucked into what felt like a little dome of privacy. This space was way bigger than I expected. Ludwig would have thrived. And in front of us, a massive entertainment screen loaded with movies. Under the TV, there was a pouch with a menu, a Queensland Rail magazine, safety card, and sick bag, just in case, and a pair of very questionable headphones. You know the ones. On my left, a big window with curtains and a set of seat controls to adjust the recline and the footrest, a USB outlet, a headphone jack, very plain vibes, you know. To my right, a little reading lamp, and a surprisingly fancy fold-out tray table. Again, so many aeroplane vibes on here, just with a lot more legroom and less chance of someone reclining onto your lap. Up top, we also found our towels and blankets for the night. Yep, towels. Why towels, you ask? Just you wait. Oh, and even though we checked in our big bags, there was heaps of storage space outside, just in the corridor.
Are you ready to watch a movie?
Yeah. It was time for dinner. After dinner, we had a little announcement come over the speakers, letting us know there'd be 3 different turn-down service times for bedtime. That said, we could press our orange button up top when we were ready, and someone would come and magically transform our seat into a bed. And the shape it created? Serious, cozy little cave. I was unreasonably excited. And the bedding? Oh my goodness! Actual bedding. We're talking a full blanket, fresh white linen, a proper pillow situation times 2. This felt like a hotel bed that just happened to be on rails.
All right, here we have the bathroom. There seem to be 2 different bathrooms in our train car and one shower. I wasn't expecting a shower, but there's a shower. Yeah, it's pretty spacious. This one anyway. This is like the nappy change one as well. We've got a toilet. We've got a hand dryer, a teeny little sink, some soap, pretty big mirror. Loving it. This is the shower room. We've got lovely lighting here. We've got a lovely big mirror. To the left of this mirror is a little crevice. We've got a place to charge your devices. We've got a coat hook, a little window that is misty. We've got, oh, that's handy to put your things on. Nice, I like that. Oh, look at that, another coat hook, another coat hook. A lovely little shelf here where I've placed my phone. A nice light. And our shower. And honestly, it's pretty big. Soap here, so that's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Very nice. Honestly, pretty fantastic water pressure, very warm, slightly wobbly. Overall, I'd say a very successful shower on a train.
At a time to stretch your legs, please feel free to do so. That leaves us now for station announcements and finally the whistle.
Our fresh air stop was a place called Bundaberg. Yep, like the ginger beer. We pulled in shortly after our showers and had a whopping 8 minutes on the platform. Just enough time for a quick stretch, a deep inhale of warm Queensland air, and of course, a sign reveal. And honestly, the station surprised me. It was lovely, like unexpectedly charming. I think my sister thought I was a bit unhinged for gushing about a train station after a shower in our pajamas, but it just had such a nice energy. The Spirit of Queensland makes a stop every few hours or so to pick up and drop off passengers. And just like on Amtrak, they're very good at keeping you on schedule. You'll hear announcements like when there's 2 minutes left or 1 minute, like a polite reminder not to wander too far or get swept into a leafy plant daydream. Then they'd be dimming the cabin lights, which honestly made me very happy because I forgot my sleep mask on this trip, and I'd started to get a little nervous that I was going to spend the night squinting under a fluorescent bulb. Justin had mentioned the lights would come on at around 6 a.m, so I was ready, for a soft, gentle wake up. But the morning had other plans. At 5:30 a.m. sharp, we were awakened. It was a new passenger, a very enthusiastic and potentially drunk new passenger. She was storming through our train car with several bags. And I swear, not exaggerating, she was making this noise the entire time. Oh! 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 Where the F am I? Where the F is my seat? That's how we woke up. Breakfast, something we had ordered the night before.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we went for the omelette. I got the vegetarian omelette, so I've got some mushrooms, some tomatoes. I think this might even be a very hot English muffin, perhaps. We've got a little orange juice.
The scenery outside finally started to show itself. Moody, overcast, a little rainy. Peak train coziness. There were raindrops trailing down the windows, the train gently swaying, both of us glued to the view because honestly, we'd never travelled through this part of Australia before, so everything felt new and a bit magical in that we literally just sitting here and the world is moving kind of way. But tragedy struck. The coffee machine was broken. I repeat, broken. In my most caffeine-desperate moment, the staff was like, "You can have an instant coffee instead," and I was like, "Cool, sure." But then they still charged me the full $3.50 for it, for instant coffee, which felt a little wrong. But also, I need caffeine to function as a human, so I accepted it and moved on. The cafe is open all night. Apparently, the party never stops on the Spirit of Queensland. We decided to hang out in the cafe car for a bit. It was pumping in there, like absolutely jam-packed with high school students who looked like they'd been camping out all night. Candy, pizza, energy drinks, chaos. It was giving school trip meets train rave. And then, fresh air stop. This time at a place called Prosperin, which is the gateway to the Whitsundays.
Welcome to Proserpine.
The Whitsundays are basically postcard central. 74 tropical islands off the coast of Queensland, surrounded by coral reefs and that famous turquoise water.
This is our first stop of the morning. It's about, 7:30 in the morning, and we're in Proserpine, which is our friendly town. Friendly town, it says.
We only had a few minutes here to stretch our legs, smell in the humid tropical air, and pretend we're outdoorsy adventurers. And back to our little cocoon chairs. I couldn't help but notice, a lot of the houses around here are up off the ground. Naturally, my brain went, is this because of the crocodiles? Apparently there are tons of crocs up here. But nope, turns out I was very, very wrong. I asked a local in the cafe and she told me it's actually to keep the houses cool. They're raised up so that the air can flow underneath and help to reduce the heat inside. Because yep, it gets that hot up here. And then we had an announcement. We were nearing Townsville, one of the biggest stops on the route. A lot of people were getting on and off here, and the crew would also be changing over too, which meant it was time to say goodbye to our lovely attendant Justin. And although we were only here for around 20 minutes, it felt like a bit of a hub. Fun fact, Townsville is actually the largest urban centre in northern Queensland, and it's home to the Great Barrier Reef HQ Aquarium. We didn't have enough time to go exploring here, but we did have enough time for a quick stretch and a happy dance.
I think we should probably go and brush our teeth now, Renee.
Yeah, so feeling a bit salty.
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit sweet.
Out the window, we're passing endless sugarcane fields. Sugarcane is kind of a big deal around here. Queensland actually grows about 95% of all Australia's raw sugar, which is kind of wild when you think about it. The whole sugar industry is worth around $2.5 billion a year. The warm coastal climate is basically sugarcane paradise. Around 3 p.m. we rolled into a little spot called Tully. And once again, I was absolutely not prepared for how cute the station was. Plants everywhere. Like, give this place a flat white and some bran muffins and I would have sworn we pulled up to a trendy hole-in-the-wall cafe, not a train stop. I honestly could have hung out here longer, but the journey, it must go on. Also, just after leaving Tully, I got a little update via text and email to let us know our train was running about 45 minutes late, which honestly I really appreciate. It's always good to know what's going on and made me feel very taken care of.
I'm so surprised with the food on board. It's really good. Spinach and ricotta phyllo, salad. We've got some chutney on here as well. Balsamic and olive oil vinaigrette, and a panna cotta, and a cola zero.
In the final stretch, I thought we might watch a movie, but honestly, it felt just too cozy and fun staring out the window to dive into anything on screen. I was too nervous I'd miss something awesome. Plus, the slightly flimsy, kind of broken headsets didn't exactly scream cinematic experience. Because we were riding in winter, end of June to be exact, the sun dipped down early once again. By the time we rolled into Cairns, we'd been on board for 26 hours. Not bad at all. I was thriving. Renee, let's just say I think it was an experience. Maybe not a full sleeper train convert just yet, but hey, she should count herself lucky that I didn't drag her on the 105-hour train like I did with our brother. That could have been interesting. We're in Cairns. Yay. Yes. You excited to be hopping off the train, Renee?
Yeah.
You've been a trooper. Yes, I love it when I get stuff like that on camera. It's so hard to capture that moment. They go by so quickly. It's a tough job, I tell you.
Bye seat. It's fantastic.
That was phenomenal. And I could have been on there for another night easy. Feel Renee's energy coming back after hopping off a train. She's looking like herself. She's looking like herself again. Don't worry, Ludwig was like that once. Now he's a trains guy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is so fat. Oh my gosh, Renee, look at this cute little dining table. It's just so cute. We only had a couple of days to spend in Cairns, but when in tropical Australia, the obvious first move, check into a fancy hotel on the waterfront and jump straight into the pool. Though spoiler alert, cold pools hit very differently in winter. That probably explains why we were the only ones brave enough to swim and why there was no one here. It was freezing, but Cairns itself, so much fun. We found a Mexican restaurant that somehow had everything. There were tacos, dancing, bowling, darts, shuffleboard, and pool tables all under one roof. Cairns is such a cool destination. It's buzzing, full of life, and packed with restaurants and bars. Plus, it's the perfect base for exploring North Queensland. It's the gateway to the Great Barrier Reef, the Daintree Rainforest, and loads of epic coastal and inland adventures. But we're here for a very different kind of adventure. This is where we board our next 2 train journeys. And trust me, they are nothing like the Spirit of Queensland. Stay tuned for what might be some of the weirdest, wildest train trips we've ever done. And that wraps up our very long but very lovely train ride up the coast of Queensland. Honestly, I think the Spirit of Queensland is kind of a vibe. If you like cozy train pods, great scenery, lots of sugarcane, then this one is for you. Would you ever sleep on a train like this? Or are you firmly in the no thank you, I enjoy my personal space category? Let me know down below. Thanks so much for watching. I really really appreciate you spending 26 hours, or I guess 20 minutes. Feel free to give it a little thumbs up and tap that subscribe like you're desperately pressing the coffee button in the cafe car only to find out the machine's broken again. We'll see you next week with more trains, more awkwardness, and hopefully no more broken coffee machines. Okay, bye-bye.